Can being a stay-at-home mom cause anxiety? Simple answer, yes. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips to help you ease that anxiety. Nice and slow. I get it. You thought that being a stay-at-home mom, things would be easier, life would calm down, you'd have time to play with your kids and relax and enjoy, but what you've become is anxious. And I get it. I deal with anxiety a lot. And over the years, I've been working on trying to figure out what's causing my anxiety. And it is this perpetual movement that occurs for me where one thing will start to ease my anxiety and then something else will ramp it up. So I'm going to share with you 5 tips that are helping me to deal with my anxiety as a stay-at-home mom. So the first one is something that you may not think you should be worrying about, but it's your posture. So most of us as stay-at-home moms, we spend a lot of time in this position because we may be feeding our baby, breastfeeding our baby, or even just feeding our baby. You may be carrying a lot of items around. You may be working your side hustle, on a keyboard. You're playing down on the floor with your children. You're always, with little ones, you're always in this forward motion position. And what this does is this is that position that through time we get into when we are scared, hurt, when we need to protect ourselves. So it kind of creates this response in our system that puts it into an overdrive. So the first thing we've got to do is get out of this position, okay? So what I like to do is stand up taller or sit up taller. But what I notice when we do this, most of us throw our shoulders back and we end up opening that rib cage, and that can create other issues along the road, split abs and things like that. So what I want you to think about is when you are sitting, you can place a hand on your chest and right at your ribs, so right below your bra line. And all we're going to try to do is move our chest. So if I'm sitting here in this rounded state, kind of like I would when I'm at home, is I'm going to work on bringing my chest towards my top hand. So I'm going to lift it up. And you'll see as I do that, it naturally pulls my shoulders back. So I'm not creating any hypertension through my shoulder blades, opening up this area. I'm just naturally lifting right here. Why my hand is here is I don't want you to overextend. I don't want you to open up the rib cage because there again, that's that pull the shoulders back position. So we're going to open and lift and keep that ribs so where you can just feel them. They're what I like to say, like a closed position. You don't feel them flaring out. So that's the first thing. And I know it sounds crazy, but if you just start practicing that, that is going to help the neurological response that is occurring every time you crunch. The second one is to change your breathing. So this goes along with the posture, because when we are in this rounded posture, we also inhibit the diaphragm from moving properly through our core. And the diaphragm has a lot to do with the parasympathetic system. So if you are not breathing, if you're chest breathing, if you're breathing up high, you tend to create more of a fight or flight response in your system. So we need to work on our breathing pattern and bringing our breathing deeper into our body. I try not to say belly breathing so much, just because belly can create pressure down. So I want you to think more about breathing through that full rib cage. And when I talk about rib cage breathing, I'm thinking 360 breathing, like a jellyfish. If you think about how a jellyfish breathes, you're opening everything up. So you can practice breathing that way. And I have some tips on breathing if you are interested. The third thing that you need to look into is what you're eating. So sugar and carbs, they're not good. They are not good if you deal with anxiety. We can even add caffeine and alcohol into that, but I don't want to crush your dreams right here, right? So that's like, hello, we need caffeine to live and survive as moms. So I'm going to say cut the sugar. Just if you can cut it in half, you are doing yourself a favor. So sugar affects the blood sugar in the body, and it disrupts the body's physiology. So it can increase panic attacks and anxiety. So you need to cut as much of that as possible. It has a lot to do with the microbiome, and the microbiome communicates with the brain. So we need to make sure, I'm telling simple here, we're not going into science, but we need to cut the sugar. If you need help with that, let me know. I do have meal plans that are really low sugar, and they can help you as well. The fourth thing you need to do is move more. And now you are talking my language. I love exercise. And not so much, I don't want you to feel like you have to exercise. You just need to be moving more. And if you need tips or ideas on ways to move more, look through my videos. I've got some mobility movement patterns that you can practice throughout the day. But the key is when you sit a lot, you have time to think a lot. You have time to get in your head and just continue to ruminate over things. You get in your head, you ruminate over things, you slouch down, you create this position, this protective state. Your mind is going, you're creating this protective state. Now you are inhibiting the diaphragm from moving properly through your body, so there increases the fight or flight response. You see what's naturally starting to happen is panic attacks and anxiety will start to occur because of all these things you've started to do. So get up and move more. Go for a walk. Do some exercise. Whatever it is you want to do. Or, even if it's just going out and walking through the park or taking your child outside and doing something active with them, playing hopscotch or, whatever. Move more. Get out and move and do more. It's going to get your mind off of it. It's going to help you work through movement patterns so you're not stuck in this position so much. So that is my fourth tip. And my last tip is supplements. And there's one that I highly recommend, and that is ashwagandha. It tends to take the edge off. It doesn't have, I don't really honestly know of any side effects with that. You can find it at your local health food store. And another one that I like is the Sleepy Time tea. You can pick whichever one you want. It has something in it called valerian, and that is really good to kind of stop the mind from going 100 miles a minute. So those are my tips to help you stay-at-home mom with your anxiety. And if you have more questions, make sure to let me know. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. I'm here to help you, so let me know.